Good Tuesday, everyone. Looking at our USA mortgage level of concern, pretty much the same as it's been for about the last 100 days. I mean, several days. It feels like 100 days, right? Level one, it's not a meteorologist mark weather alert day, but we can't rule out an isolated strong to severe thunderstorm, especially in the heat of the afternoon and evening hours. Looking at our premier generator threat graphic, that pretty much reiterates that. I'm not looking for anything widespread. Even as the front comes through on Thursday, I'm not overly impressed with that setup. I do think it could favor flash flooding, though, so that's something I'm keeping a very close eye on, especially with the ground already being so wet. Nevertheless, any storm that develops this week, and even this time of the year, can have a damaging wind gust, deadly cloud to ground lightning, and of course that flash flood threat, especially when we're as humid as we are. You step outside and you can know that any storm that develops could produce torrential downpours of rain. Similar to what they saw yesterday in West Virginia, that deadly flash flood event. And similar to the Plateau, yes, they're in the mountains and the water drains away quickly, but little good does that do when it was elevated and did all the damage. So it's just a scary situation. So be careful if you get caught in one of those torrential downpours. Pull off to the side of the road if you're driving. Just let it pass. Visibility can drop to zero in no time, and never ever ever drive across a flooded roadway, especially if you know that water is moving. Even if it's moving slowly, you can be surprised at the power that water can have. The number one way people lose their lives in flash flooding: driving across a flooded road. Clearview Closet and Blind brings us our 5-day forecast. I dropped rain chances from 90% to 70% today. You're welcome. Showers and thunderstorms still likely. Just probably not as much as we had yesterday. And then tomorrow, it's going to be very similar to today, it looks like. And then the front comes through on Thursday, so that bumps our rain chances up to 90%. And again, I am a little bit more concerned about flash flooding as some heavier downpours come through, especially since our soils are already so wet. But then look what happens. Friday and Saturday, mostly sunny. Yes, it's going to get hot. You either get the clouds and the showers and the cool, or you get the sunny and the hot and the humid. So you have to take your pick this time of the year usually. But it will be humid, it looks like. And that's going to cause heat indices to be higher too. So while it's 85 on Friday, it's going to feel closer to 90 or more. Saturday, it's going to feel over 90 degrees because it's going to be close to 90 anyway. So, and then it stays hot Sunday on into next week. Hey, weather forecast, bad, bad, bad. Finally, look at that green on Friday and Saturday. Good, good. Humidity levels drop. Rain chances drop to less than 10%. And so fire up the tractor. Looking at the extended threats, just watching our stuff this week, and then next week it's looking hot and humid. Yes, there will be chances for storms next week, but it's mainly that heat of the day in the afternoon, evening, heat and humidity build. You're going to get an isolated storm or two on the plateau. So I don't think it'll be too impactful to those of you trying to work in the hay, but I'll certainly keep an eye on things. On this day in weather history, watch this program will travel. An exciting summer 1969 was. Top managers from NASA headquarters and the directors of Manned Spacecraft Center, Marshall Space Flight Center, Kennedy Space Center, lots of folks working on this mission to get us to the moon. Held the flight readiness review at Kennedy Space Center. The meeting reviewed all aspects of the readiness for launch, and at the conclusion, they agreed that they could proceed to the next milestone, the big, big milestone, the countdown demonstration test, which was essentially a dry run for the actual countdown for the launch. And so that was completed in early July, and by July the 20th, guess what? We were walking on the moon. Nearly 500,000 people working on this mission at its peak. So that's a lot of folks, over 400,000 people working to make this happen, and that's what got us there, folks. You have a wonderful Tuesday. Keep looking up for more weather information, meteorologistmark.com.